Alright guys, so we are going to talk about the collector role and what you guys think should come to it inside of this next update coming to Red Dead Online. Well, the next major update, I should say. If you're curious on when this might be coming, I did a video on that yesterday with Hazard and JM Cookie, so I would recommend you guys go check that out. It's really good. But this is a hot topic in the community. After I posted my Red Dead Online bounty hunter video, I saw a bunch of other YouTubers upload theirs as well, so I might as well start the round on the second one. Alright boys, we're gonna talk about the collector role, and then if you guys are interested in having your comments featured on the trader role, that post is currently up on my community tab, so you can go drop a bunch of comments on that post. I would love to hear what you guys want to happen with that role, but we got to jump into all these comments that you guys left me, because there's like 300 comments on this one. There was like 300 comments on the bounty hunter one. You guys are epic. I'm super excited to go through them, but that means we got to start, and that means we're gonna be doing it for a minute. So we got to start off here at the top. That says Uncle Fester. He says he wants griefer scalps, and that's got 111 likes. Mr. Fester, sir, I definitely agree. However, maybe we should be able to display the griefer scalps? Yeah, that might actually be really cool. If you kill somebody, you can keep their belt buckle or something. Like, I'm actually really down for this in some fashion. I don't know if we need to keep scalps of hair, but I'm also kind of down for it because some of the griefers are too much, man. Next up, we got a comment from Matt Goodall that says, I want to see upgraded satchels for all roles. Collector could have valuable satchels, outlaws could have tonic satchels, and a trader could have a provision satchel, and that has 89 likes. So looks like almost 100 people are like, yes, we want satchels. And look, I'm totally with you guys. I've wanted satchels from day one. We have animations of us putting stuff in satchels, and we don't even have the satchels, so I would really be looking forward to it. I just went over the bounty hunter trader collector pictures. I did not see satchels in there. It doesn't mean they're not included. That would be a pretty big drop to have them have the satchels, and then we're like, oh wait, we're getting satchels. So that is definitely possible, although the way Red Dead Online kind of works with the animations, even the catalog animation is just Arthur's journal animation, but now holding a catalog. So you can even see him unwrap the catalog in a way that only the journal needs to be unwrapped, like that first loop that you have to pull out or Arthur does to open his journal. He does that animation in Online whenever you open the catalog. They really didn't spend a lot of time on redoing the animations for the online, so I'm not sure if maybe they're just planning on adding the satchels in later or what. I think Matt's idea here of having specialty satchels for each one is a really good idea, and should you be somebody who's progressing all at the same time, it would be really cool to be able to switch between the satchels, you know, per outfit basically. So you could have a hunting outfit, you could have a bounty hunting outfit, and then you can have a collecting outfit, and then they could double as, like, you know, hot, cold, whatever, and then so you guys get it. Anyway, we're gonna move on to the next comment here from K.O. Rocky, and it says, I think the collector roles should allow you to set up cabin or shop and allow you to decorate them with the treasures you've gained. Also, they should feature a treasure every 2 weeks so that it can only be collected during that time. It would feel a little more exclusive, if that makes sense. And Rocky, again, and I know all these videos are me being like, I totally agree with you. That's just because our community here is on the same wavelength. But Rocky, I totally agree with you. I want to be able to show off that I am the collector in more ways than one. I don't want just clothes. I don't want just a satchel. I want to be able to be like, nah, come by my camp and check out how decked out my camp is. I don't necessarily know about cabin. I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to set up a shop specifically as the trader at your camp, if I'm not mistaken. So come back and check me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's definitely what's going to happen. But yeah, if you go back to the story mode, there is precedent for decking out your camp basically with animals that you kill and bring back to Pearson, because they really want you to learn the hunting mechanics and that, you know, you can bring stuff back to Pearson and that he could do stuff for you, etc., etc. So they really are like, yo, you should upgrade the camp with all these random skulls and animal skins. But if you do, and I did, it looks really cool if you get everything for the camp. So that's probably my favorite thing about the story mode, is just how the camp kind of progresses over time, and I think that's what they're aiming to do with these roles. You're gonna swing by your buddy's camp, who's primarily a bounty hunter, so he's got the top tier bounty hunter swag, and you're gonna be like, whoa, is that a human skull? And he's gonna be like, yeah, bruh. You're gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna go back to my camp now. And he's gonna be like, you wanna see my griefer scalps? Next up, we got a comment here from Sir Dell that says, looking for unique items in the Civil War, including some weapons and clothes that you can use yourself instead of selling. And that has 51 likes. And you know what, man? People are really into the Civil War. I've seen a lot of comments about the Civil War related paraphernalia, and there is precedent for it in the story mode. I think even the Lemoyne Raiders are described as some good old boys who never, I don't want to misquote, but I'm pretty sure it's some good old boys that don't know the war's over or were never told the war's over, something like that. And And that's how the Lemoyne Raiders are described, I believe, by Lenny, but it also might be somebody talking to Lenny about them. But I'm pretty sure Lenny's involved in that scene for some reason. Anyway, yes, there is definitely precedent for it. There's tons of Civil War references and memorabilia throughout the entire game, so it wouldn't surprise me at all if the collector was going out and finding old weapons and old kind of revolvers and old, you know, rifles, even just things like different cavalry caps and different things like that, old lost love letters, and maybe you return the love letter to like some random NPC that just happens to be like a descendant or something. I don't know, but I think it's going to be really cool the way that they introduce everything. However, I don't want to act like I know that there's a ton of Civil War stuff around the corner. I mean, they might have already put in all that work into the game. However, I think it would be really cool if they did. Next up, we got a comment from Charles 1999 that says treasure hunting in caves. It has 45 likes, by the way, which, I mean, the only time I really went into the caves in Red Dead Online was when I was trying to do a daily challenge on a stream, and then I was like trying to get bats to spawn, and I had such a bad experience. But I remember the cave being so cool. And then there's that spot that everybody tries to get to up in Annisburg that you can't get to, but I want them to take more advantage of these kind of cool mine shafts and stuff like that they've got, like pretty much all these kind of the under the Saint Denis docks, places that people just don't really generally go to. I think those are going to be really, really interesting to put these pieces of content in, you know, whether it be somebody hiding from the bounty hunter or you know, a special rabbit that I've got to go kill that's hiding out somewhere super reclusive. I think these pieces of content really need, and by piece of content I mean bounty hunter, trader, collector, but I think specifically trader, collector are going to have to really push us to the edges of the map, or, you know, all the little nooks and crannies, because I feel like those are the really underused pieces of Red Dead Online right now. Like, there's just entire swaths of the map that nobody goes to except for when you want to be left alone because nobody's there. Next up, we got a comment from Exotic that actually ties in perfectly with Charles 1999's comment, and it says, it would be nice if treasure hunting was more in-depth and fun, like finding clues and connecting them together to find the location of the treasure. Right now, it's just you wandering around in an area till you find it. And like I said, with a lot of these, I totally agree with this. I think we should be doing this. I think we need more like variance in these missions. Like, if you guys have ever done a Trelawney Stranger mission, it's just go here, find the wolf, kill the wolf, and then that's it. Like, it's not, I mean, it's not that it's not fun, but it's not nearly as fun as it could be. It doesn't feel like I'm tracking an animal down by any means. It feels like I'm stupid and can't find an animal in a small area and then I get attacked. I think we need a lot more things like the statue puzzle in the story mode. And if you guys don't know what the statue puzzle is, I was supposed to cover it and I never wound up doing it, but it is just this awesome treasure hunt where you can get a bunch of gold bars, and some of you might have done it, some of you might have not, but you had to like press buttons in a certain order to get this thing to open because, you know, XYZ. I don't want to spoil the whole thing, but it's really, really good. And I think more of that and less of what has currently been happening. And that also ties in with what I was just talking about earlier, which is using some of these reclusive areas, which this particular hunt that I'm referencing does. I just think that's a really good example to look at for where they should base the collector role from, is that particular quest. And it's really, really good. So I would highly recommend going and checking it out if you guys haven't seen it, but I think that is definitely going to be where they go with it. I don't think it's going to be less than that. That's just me personally. If it is, I'm going to be pretty disappointed, but I'm just going to keep my hopes high for this one because I think this is going to be probably the best update we've had so far. But speaking of updates that everybody wants, Daniel Bloomfield here has a comment that says, I think you should have a dedicated wagon. I knew there was going to be a wagon comment on here. He says, I think you should have a dedicated wagon that you could store more valuables in. So when you stack up a bunch of items, you have to do a delivery like mission to sell them, kind of like GTA's business runs. And yeah, I definitely think that's coming as well. I don't necessarily know how disconnected you're going to be able to be from it, because in GTA, it's like, you know, you can make money while you're out with your boys riding around doing flips and shit. Like, but that's not how Red Dead is going to be working, I don't think, at least not for a while, until we get things like moonshine distilleries, etc., etc. I think you're going to be able to take trinkets from the collector, etc., etc., fill up a chest, and then have to escort that chest back to town, basically. Like, I could totally see that happening, but I think an easy way to cheat that system would just be to have your camp spawn near a town of some sort that you need to go to, and then you have a very short mission, because they can't sell you property locations like they could in GTA. I think that might be how it winds up working, although we have to wait and see. Either way though, I think we do need wagons, and I think we will get them. I don't know if it's going to be this update, but I think we will get them, and I definitely think they are going to tie in with these three roles. 100% Daniel. Rebel Ghost 79 says, artifacts from real real folklore like the Lost Dutchman's Mine or hidden loot from a famous outlaw. Dude, I would love the Lost Dutchman's Mine. I'm in Arizona where that supposedly is, so it would be pretty cool to have that actually happen. Next up, we got a comment from USMC Vet, which says, certain treasures you can keep and equip instead of just selling. They should include weapons, watches, buckles, holsters, and hats. Totally agree. I don't really need to elaborate much on that one, sir. You have kind of hit the nail on the head. Another one we have here is a comment from Martin Mija? Did I get that right? I don't think I did, man. Yeah, I'm gonna go with it. Martin Mija says, come across other NPCs that are also looking for the valuable you are going after, and you have to pick how to deal with them. That would be really cool, and it would also be cool if that impacted your honor. So you guys could go together and split the treasure, or you could kill them, but it would negatively impact your honor. Like, the longer you betray them for, the more it impacts your honor. Granted, that's a lot of legwork for Rockstar to do, but I think that would be really cool. That's a really good idea, Martin. Hamza Al Adwan I think that Hamza Al Adwan. That's what I got. That's my best guess, man. Anything, just release the update already is what he says, which I think is really funny because, to be honest with you, we need the update, yeah. And then Sure, I think it is Sure, actually. I think the J is silent for some reason, but Sure Nelson says, being able to open a shop where other players can buy items from you. This is in a ton of online games, and I'm pretty sure it's slowly making its way to Red Dead Online as well. I don't necessarily know if we're gonna be able to get rid of items that we've been wanting to get rid of for a while. However, I do think we'll be able to sell like different pelts and stuff like that to other players because they might be useful in some way. And if we can't sell pelts, then I'm pretty sure the collector at least will be able to flex some of these items. Even if he can't sell them individually to other players, I think there's going to be player-based shops within some of these roles at some point, but I don't want to wager a guess specifically as to which ones because it's just hard for me to imagine the collectors getting the benefit of these treasures and then just turning around and flipping them, and then just players who bought gold bars are now repping all the high-level collector stuff. I don't think that would work that way. However, if there was specific subsets of items that they could get just to sell, then that would add an entire other layer to it, which I think would be awesome. Here's the thing, I don't want to keep going for too long. I did see somebody specifically when I was going through all of these that I wanted to shout out. There's just too many comments, and when I sort by top comment, there's just not a lot of room for, oh, actually there's two I need to shout out. Okay, there's one from Mr. Corey Andrews, who I've seen on a lot of videos lately, and I've also seen him on some other people's YouTube channels, so shout out to Corey. Maybe collecting unique items to show off at our camp, kind of like how GTA did with their businesses when you collected supplies, and then some of that item randomly appeared in the CEO office as a trophy of sorts. I thought of that always more as like testing the product. Like, I thought of it more as like when you would smell. Anyway, but yeah, I agree. I think this kind of ties in with what we were talking about earlier as far as the decorating of the camp went in story mode and in online. I think that is definitely coming to online, and it looks like this is exactly what Corey's talking about here. Hopefully it extends past that, so you know, when you do a cool collector mission, stuff just shows up on your table, like gold rings and stuff like that. And maybe if your flag is down, other people can come and grab them. Like, if your flag's not down, they can't, obviously, but that would be cool. Even if it's not like touchable, even if it's just like a table change, like in the assets menu of like, has recently collected treasure, and then like a bunch of gold spills out of your table, that would be really cool. And last up, we got a comment from Jowers97, who is actually another Red Dead YouTuber. You guys should go check him out. He does a lot of money methods, but regardless, he said an upgradable satchel to hold more of each item would do me good. I'm also hoping that the empty chests, wardrobes, etc. around Red Dead get filled with random items that can be collected, provisions, tonics, small money bags, etc. But also items that we haven't seen in the game yet, items that are generally collected or sold. Maybe you could come across the mask from Undead Nightmare, which I mean is actually already in online. For clarity, there's a few of them in online. If you guys are eagle-eyed, you could see them, but maybe we'll do a separate video on that if you guys are interested. But yeah, Jowers, I agree, man. I think there should just be, I'm actually really tired of the whole empty drawer thing. That was a big problem for me right when I started online. It was one of the big reasons why I stopped playing it initially, was because I would like open drawers to like loot stuff, or I would go kill NPCs and loot them, and then there would be no benefit to it, and I was just like infuriated by it. Like, I was like, what is this? So I think, you know, the more they put in the world, the better, essentially, in any sense. Like, more of everything is better at this point in Red Dead Online. Online's life cycle. But yeah, I agree. I think it would be cool. As far as the satchels go, we talked about that earlier. But yeah, I think we should definitely be able to find items in every chest, in every drawer, even if it's just something like an apple, like it was in the story mode. I think that would be dope. And it would also give a better start to players who are starting the game fresh, so they would be able to like run around and loot stuff and then actually have some stuff in their pockets so that they don't have to go spend all their money right away on, you know, provisions, etc., etc. All right, guys, but that is going to be where I call this video quits. My raw recording of this is 22 minutes. Oh, geez, this is going to be a long day. So I'm going to cut this up as much as humanly possible. I know this is probably going to be one of the longer ones. Hopefully I can cut a fair amount out of it, but it's kind of hit or miss sometimes. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you've made it all the way to the end of the video, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for your viewership. It means a lot to me. But I'm actually going to take this time to plug my second channel. If you guys didn't know, I have a channel called More Pineapple. That's right. If you've ever wanted more pineapple in your lives, there's a channel for that now. We just did the first episode of Red Dead Redemption 1. It's 48 minutes of pure Red Dead Redemption 1 content, so it's great. People are really seeming to like it, so I very much would appreciate it if you guys would go check that channel out and subscribe. I think we are at 650 or 600, I forget exactly, 600 and something subs. I'm trying to get it to 1,000, but other than that, I would just appreciate you guys' viewership over there as well. It's really cool to see people respond to it in this way. And just to put this in perspective, I had actually started this pineapple channel and it took me like months to get to 500 subs. Not months, but at least 1 month or 2 months to get to 500 subs. And like I had a vlog channel before that took years to get to 500 subs, and then literally before the first video was posted, this channel had 500 subscribers. So I just wanted to say thank you guys for that. Like, it's really crazy to just be in this place in life. And I wanted to say thank you also because we are about to hit, or we already passed 17,500 subs. I kind of don't know when to make milestone videos anymore. Like, I used to make them every like 100 subscribers when I was younger, and then now it's just so fast. I don't really know where to do anything. Like, I don't know, like, do I do one for 20 or should I felt like I should have done one for 10. I made myself a cake in real life for it. I really want to start giving back to you guys though. It's really crazy how much you guys have let me do different stuff in my life. So I just want to say thanks for that to anybody who's like made it to the end of this, because if anybody's super duper into this, like at this point, you're probably a pretty regular subscriber or a pretty regular viewer. Thank you for watching, for commenting, for liking, disliking, whatever it may be. Thank you guys for, you know, interacting with the content that I post here on the platform. So with that being said, and without further ado, peace.